Warm up at times here in our area, and that means you might be thinking about getting your lawn to start looking nice, but you also should be thinking about how that connects to our water quality in the area. This afternoon we have Mike Panuski with the Lucas County Engineer with us to explain. Welcome, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Kaylee.
So obviously it's not really feeling like spring right now, but people are going to start thinking about how they can take care of their lawn, but they might not be thinking about what chemicals they're putting into their lawn that could affect the area. What advice do you have for people as they start to take care of their lawn?
Yeah, and with any time when you're dealing with water quality, our algal blooms are mostly as a result of excess nutrients. And if you put too much fertilizer on your lawn, if you put more than what it needs, all that fertilizer doesn't get used by the lawn. It actually washes off your lawn, goes into the storm sewer, and then out into Lake Erie. So if you put the right amount of fertilizer on your lawn, you're really helping Lake Erie in trying to avoid algal blooms.
How would people know what right amount there is?
So you can get a soil test. So there are soil tests available from gardening shops where you can actually do soil tests for your lawn. Take a couple scoops in your lawn, send them to a lab, and they'll tell you what type of nutrients you might need in your lawn. There's other ways in terms of actually looking at your lawn. If your lawn is actually too green, it probably doesn't need as much nutrients as you can. You can probably dial it down about half of what you'd normally put on. And the really important thing is to actually look at your package and to really put in the right amount of fertilizer that they recommend, and at the right time.
So what we put in our lawn can affect we're thinking about like a macro level, sort of like community, Lake Erie. Talk about how people can contribute to help keep the water quality safe.
Yeah, I mean, everything we do is called Lake Erie Starts Here. So it literally starts on your front lawn and in your house.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little things that you can do to help water quality in terms of looking at the type of nutrients that you're putting on your lawn. At the end of the year, when you have leaves, it's a really good idea to try to mow them into your lawn. Use the nutrients that you have in your leaves, nature's fertilizer. Mow it into your lawn. Don't sweep it into the streets. Take your lawnmower out, mow it a couple times. It comes into really small pieces. As long as those pieces are less than the size of a dime, they'll actually serve as fertilizer for your lawn and keep your lawn fed all through the winter.
Is there anything that you guys are doing as a county to maybe educate people, or advice or resources? Like, what are you guys doing as a county?
So there's a lot of things we do in a county. We have a stormwater permit that we have to follow, and a lot of it's stuff like this, where we actually talk to people about what's the best ways that they can do in their own houses to improve water quality. We also do things on kind of a macro level. We do a lot of ditch cleaning and a lot of ditch maintenance to try to take a lot of what we call legacy phosphorus outside of our ditches that are there now. So every time that things run off, they tend to trap in sediment. If you can remove those sediments, it helps with water quality. There's a lot of other things in terms of educating people. If you live next to a stream, don't dump your leaves in the stream. Yeah. Don't dump your grass in the stream. Each of those is nutrients, and they just flood right into Lake Erie, as well as provide risk for flooding, right? So a lot of that stuff gets trapped and becomes sediment and actually causes flooding in a lot of people's areas.
So besides the flooding, and maybe people don't know what harm that can do by dumping their grass and their leaves into the area, what kind of harm could that do?
So a lot of grass and leaves, if they get all bunched up, a lot of them get trapped in our pipes. So they'll cause a lot of blockages in pipes that we have to clean out. It costs a lot of money for people to go out there and clean out blockages. Every time you have a blockage, you get a large storm, it can actually serve as flooding your house. If you put too much leaves in the street, it can clog catch basins, and those catch basins will cause a lot of flooding too. So if you properly maintain the type of grass clippings, leaf clippings, garden waste, and dispose of them in a proper manner, we can both improve water quality and lower the risk of flooding in our community.
So you talked about using maybe those leaves as fertilizer. Is there any other ways that people can maybe do that as like a natural alternative?
Don't bag your grass. Right? So one of the best forms of fertilizer people can use is just to mulch your grass clippings into the lawn. Our grass clippings are one of the best ways to provide nutrients to our lawns. The other tip is to grow your lawn long. So if most people try to grow their grass short. If you grow your grass to about 2 to 3 inches, let your grass grow long, it actually results in a much stronger, less drought tolerant grass, and also serves to provide much more grass that doesn't need as many nutrients.
So when, I guess, should people, it's still a little chilly out there. We're not maybe thinking about it right now, but when should people start maybe thinking about their fertilizer or actually start taking action on their lawn?
Yeah, generally, they should really start thinking about it probably about the end of the month. So about late March, early April, they should start looking and do their first treatment of fertilizer. After that, you're kind of looking at right at about the end of May, early June. And then right around the last treatment should be placed right around Labor Day.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us here.